All right. Hey, good evening. Here we are at our weekly Wednesday, how to make your business work for you. Let's take a look. This week, our topic is hiring, and specifically to hire or not to hire. What are the questions? And hiring and people are just such a fundamental part of your business that you just really have to do more than the standard interview process. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a few things. We're going to keep this one very short tonight. We're going to take a look at a few things, look at some examples, three examples. One of the examples is going to be for a pure manual labor job from a big package delivery service that you've seen outside your door, certainly, and they were trying to solve a problem of hiring 100,000 people, temporary workers for the holiday season. The next is an entry level salesperson at a software company in Austin, Texas, that we helped craft their resume, use the predictive index to determine their strengths, and then mapped those strengths and the experience that they had to the job that they wanted and eventually got. The third example is from here in Chicago. A senior level tech executive uh, was miserable at their job and uh, was approached by a former colleague. And this is what we took a look at in order to help that person be comfortable with the change, understand how they were feeling, and then map their aptitude, skills, and experience to that job so that this person could be successful and also comfortable making the move. So we're going to look at some questions that you ask as a company that's trying to hire, and then also from the side of someone who is looking for a job and what they're looking for. And these are actual real examples, two of whom are people that I worked with personally. The third is from a big brown truck that sometimes drives by your house or office. Let's jump into it. So to hire or not to hire. Um, to start with, uh, I really love Peter Drucker and I try to read him daily, but this is the crux of hiring. And people determine the performance capacity of an organization. Without an employee, you don't get anything more than you yourself can get done. And these are the people who are representing your business. These are the people who are interacting with your customers. These are people who are trying to help you win new customers. And there is just nothing more important than people. Um, the next thing, another Drucker quote is, with people being so important, I see so often, and especially when I was hiring for automotive dealerships in sales positions, F&I positions, the finance and insurance positions, people who are selling intangible products. So often I would go in with the interview. For the interview with the person from the store, the dealership who was doing the interview. And so many people, we'd wrap up afterwards. What'd you think? Oh, I liked him, or I liked her, or wow, this or that. And I started going to those interviews because I wanted to get some more things onto the table and I wanted to help them ask better questions. And the one of the things that I really learned about asking questions in an interview is if you ask the same questions over and over again, and then the same follow-up questions, you're going to start to learn a whole lot about the people that you're interviewing. So that's one of the things that I definitely recommend is structured interview. Think very deliberately about the questions that you're going to ask, and they can change over time, but ask some form of the same question and you'll get better at it. And you also will, with your follow-up questions, you'll be able to. I'm not saying that your job as an interviewer is to trip up a candidate, but boy, it sure is nice to find out if someone's making up their work experiences in the interview rather than after you hire them. So don't hire based on your instincts. Have a process in place to research and test applicants thoroughly. Some of my most successful clients, like clients that I love working with, successful people who hire well, one of their things is, hey, come in, work with us for a day. Let's see how you are. And if someone won't do that, like, that they're not going to perform on the job. The other thing is, if someone does, you're going to see how they fit in the team. You may have specific jobs. You can see if, hey, if I show you how to do something, do you pick it up? Or do I have to tell you this first day thing over and over again? That's a red flag. Next up, again, just hammering on this. This is another Drucker quote from page 117 of the Daily Drucker. But any executive who starts out believing that he or she is a good judge of people is going to end up making the worst decisions. One of my former clients, I'll never forget, there was someone who was in a different part of the dealership, and this client thought that that person would be really good in another part of the dealership. And frankly, everyone liked this person, and it should have been a good fit. And this person advocating for this other person to be moved within departments was sure of it. He said to me, Tay, you gotta help me make this move. Boom, boom, boom. But what he did say is, I want you to run your PI and then tell me what you think. After running the predictive index behavioral analysis, I got the reports back and I went to tell him, I'm like, this person will never make it in the position that you want this person to be in. This person is very well suited for the position they are in, but they're not well suited for where you want them to go. So have a process, have some data, something besides just that gut feeling and the belief that you can do it well. You need to have some data to rely on. Here are the three sides of the coin. So these are three examples we're going to talk about. The first was the big brown box example. I heard this on the radio over the Christmas season, and they had a goal of hiring 100,000 seasonal workers for these temp positions, because everyone knows the holidays are extremely busy for package delivery companies. I put the link in the last slide, but you can also Google it, just NPR, UPS hiring 30 minutes. Their goal was to give a person a job offer within half an hour. They essentially eliminated anything and everything that they could to make this process more seamless and faster. Their thought was, these people are just online applying for jobs. We need to make this fast. We need to make it easy. And one of the quotes in the article is even, this guy says, wow, I looked at my sister and said, wow, it was that easy. So they accomplished their goal, but they did it by eliminating things that were not pertinent to their job. And these are where the first questions, what are you hiring for? This company just needed to hire a lot of people who could pack things into a truck and then get them off a truck. So the essential job requirement was they could lift 70 pounds. It didn't matter if they had a high school diploma. It didn't matter where they went to college, if they did it all. It didn't matter about their last 3 jobs that no one was going to check anyway. All that mattered was maybe one job, and then can you lift the amount of pounds we needed to lift? Listen to the article for more detail, but they got job offers out to people in half an hour. The next example is I helped this person get an entry-level sales job, person right out of college, from a state college in the Midwest, right out of college, moving to Austin, Texas, and wanted an entry-level sales job. Now, what was really interesting about this is it gave me a look both from the hiring side, which I'm very accustomed to, and then also the candidate side. This candidate was moving to Austin and had some very particular things in mind, had a fairly technical degree, which ended up aiding this person in the job search and helped us narrow it down. But this is not where that person wanted to concentrate. And we did a couple things. What we really did is we dug into this person's resume and based, without much college or work experience, it was all hands-on experience in classes at college. and then running like a small retail establishment. We were able to craft that resume and that experience towards the job that this person was seeking. The other thing that we did is we relied very heavily on the predictive index. I'm a predictive index certified partner, and I was able to help this person evaluate their predictive index and then talk about what it meant to them in terms of what their strengths were and then how it would help them in their career and in life to be able to exercise those strengths and in essence scratch the itches of what are their needs, which become drives, and then in an ideal situation are reflected in the behaviors of their job. um, this person was a persuader for their predictive index pattern. It's called the behavioral analysis. You see on the screen the BA pattern. Their profile was a persuader, which is an ideal sales and sales management job. The third example was a senior tech executive here in Chicago. This person, deep experience in their field, accomplished in their field, very, very successful, has a fantastic resume with, percent improvements, did this, did this, did this. This was, in essence, in the field that this candidate was in, this was a no-brainer. Where we were able to help is by taking that experience and then also using the predictive index behavioral assessment and then talking to this person about how their particular skill set would translate to this new role. This new role would have additional responsibilities that they were not accustomed to having. Taking a look at their predictive index, we're able to talk about, hey, you're probably feeling this. Well, understand that right now, this is how you're going to feel now with some experience. And after you get a little of this under your belt, this is how you're going to feel. And you're going to become very good at it, just as you are in your current role. And it allowed this person who was a specialist, which is a very precise worker. It allowed this person to be able to take a step out of that box that they were very accustomed to, and then take that leap of faith in themselves to make that step and take on a new role. This specialist is ideally suited for the job that this person has, and they are highly successful. We'll get to some results on the next slide, but just understand, but all three of these are successful examples. The next thing, let's take a look. So the first question is, who are you hiring? So make sure that who you are looking for is what your job description says. So often, you can just tell that people have copied and pasted a job description from a competitor, and it's dull and it's blah and it's not really specific. What I advocate for is that if you are looking for high performers and you are a fast moving organization, and you need someone who can juggle multiple things, your job description has to say that, because it needs to ring the bell with the person who's looking for the job. For that those big brown trucks, for them, who they were hiring, they eliminated every unnecessary question and category about their hiring process that could be eliminated. Interestingly enough, both the tech and the software firms relied on experience and personal recommendations. Those are two important things for these very desirable jobs. One in Austin, Texas, incredible job market right now. And then one here in Chicago, upper level in a very in-demand vertical. Both of those jobs were filled due to outreach, either on the part of the company or on the part of the candidate. And they both combined for success. On the big brown box side, speed and time to offer were paramount for them. That was what they were focused on. And again, they eliminated everything. So this was really, small investment. This is a temp job. This is extra money for the holidays for the worker, and it's extra help for the holidays for the company. Um, Not a lot there, obligation wise. For the two other jobs that we helped with, the innate ability that we were able to show both candidates and the relevant experience were factors in the job placement and the job seeking, but the referral and the previous work slash academic history were the absolute keys to success. Uh, these ended up being very good fits, not only from the predictive index behavioral assessment, but also from what the company was looking for and for the existing team within the companies. Last but not least, I already kind of said it, but the low investment of time and low job qualifications on the left for that package delivery company. It was essentially just seasonal, and you need to be able to lift some boxes. On the other hand, the two others, the high paying jobs, the in demand jobs, where the war for talent is acute and still is, it's a high investment of time and more complex work. The stakes are very, very high when you make a hire. And anything that you can do to increase the chances of success of that candidate and your hire, you need to do it. Quick timeout. If you're optimizing your talent, you're optimizing your business. Just think about it that way. Talent is everything. The people at your business are everything. So, who are you looking for? And then what are you offering? This was the biggest thing that I came to understand about this. The compensation was secondary. It's more than money. What are you? Who are you? What's your culture? What's the leadership like? Do you offer learning? Can someone look into their future and see that I've gotten good training, I've learned new skills? In both of these examples that we helped with, this was extremely important. The entry-level sales position at the software company in Austin, Texas, this candidate, he was not going anywhere that did not have a great training program. That was one of the prerequisites, and that's what we found. For this senior tech executive, this person needed to have opportunities for growth. It's very easy. This is a person who, especially their PI, showed us that, while they liked things, very precise, they also needed that sense of belonging. They needed to be part of a team. They needed to have a lot of support, someone that had their back, but then they also needed the opportunity to learn and grow. And that is something that was found in the position that this person moved to. And so the other thing for the just out of office person or just out of school person, they wanted to go into an office with a bunch of other young people who they could get to know and have fun with. The tech executive, it was work-life balance, culture, good leadership, and being part of a team. And then obviously the third example, for the temp workers, it was that the process was easy. The keys to success here, when you looked at it and when you boil it down, when you're asking those questions, on one side is your job description, and think of that as, this is my ideal person that I'm trying to bring into the company. That needs to be written so that it is directly to that person. It resonates with them. It's what they're looking for. They want challenge. They're looking for culture. They're looking for this in-house training, whatever it is, it needs to be there, catch their eye. But principally, it's job fit. These candidates, all who they were fundamentally, matched what the company was looking for. The relevant experience. So think of that job fit as, a salesperson needs to be outgoing. They need to be a stimulating communicator. That's that persuader profile. The job fit for the senior tech executive, they need to be very precise and results oriented, and they're going to get it done no matter what, and it's going to be fantastic. That was what is demanded in that role, and that was found. The relevant experience. Both of these candidates had the relevant experience, and the behavioral assessment from the PI predicted job fit or job success. The interesting thing about the entry-level salesperson is we thought through and talked about all the relevant experience from jobs that this person had in college to activities and projects that they did, and fit those in to a great interview, which positioned them as a great candidate. The third key to success is the comp and slash quality of life. Each was looking for something different. There were distinct pieces that fit. Like the challenge was for the tech executive and the opportunity to learn and grow. The sales training for the entry-level salesperson was the be all and end all. The takeaways: UPS, the big brown box, they did what they had to do. They hired them all. The software sales, this person just celebrated a year on the job. It was a successful job placement. The interesting thing is this candidate worked backwards to search for the right job, as I described, based on their experience, what they were looking for, and then we used the predictive index to get that clear insight into this person's strengths, and then align the resume and the interview answers and approach to the job search based on that predictive index. For this tech VP, this person's been on the job for almost 7 months now and has gotten feedback such as it's night and day from the client. It's night and day once this person has come on. This person used the predictive index to understand the strengths that this person had. And it was reassurance. This person who doesn't like a lot of change, it was reassurance for this person that they could do the job. And then, interestingly, they're using this PI knowledge of themselves to understand how other people work and how they come across in their communication to the people who report to them and to whom they report. So success all around. I only had anything to do with one of them. Want to let you know, if you are interested in learning more about this, just go to Start Now, digitalkimberlite.com, Start Now. It's a form. It'll let you enter what you're looking for, and I can tailor my response to you, and we can set up a short introductory call to learn if I can help. Moving on. That's what we do. We make your business work for you. It starts with people, but we also have and provide and implement as business solutions. And it's that same web address, Start Now, digitalkimberlite.com, Start Now. And then you can also call or text us at 847-957-4249. This actually is an example of that, one of those business solutions that we provide, and it's super effective and easy. This is that article, and it actually heard it on the radio, and you can listen to it. It is fascinating. But it's the exact opposite of, this was just fast and easy, where these other two jobs that we talked about are very high investment and very high stakes for the hiring manager. With that, here's our contact information. Again, digitalkimberlite.com, Start Now. Email info@digitalkimberlite.com. That's digitalkimberlite.com. And call or text us at 847-957-4249. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please feel free to get in touch if we can help in any way, and if you have any questions or comments. Thank you.